Yo, we are back. It's yet another episode of the In the Hall podcast with Clev and Ty. I am Clev.
I am Ty.
How are we doing this week, sis? What's going on?
This week has been cold, very cold. We're practically freezing like popsicles out here. We had Arctic winds and Arctic weather. It's been in the negatives for like a week here.
Listen, yeah, it was, I think on Monday, it was like -5, like that morning. Just like what are we doing here?
Right.
What are we doing?
I got
What
it
is this?
because I'm being good. I'm living the healthy lifestyle. I get up to go to my 5:10 Pilates class. I walk past my thermostat. I got one of those little smart thermostats, right? It says -9 outside on the thermostat. And I said, you know what, Lord, maybe, maybe, please. I just,
Like, what, Jesus? Like, you did bless me with this house, so that means you must want me to stay in it.
right. My 4 walls is taken care of. The heat is fine. I just need, what do you mean you want me to venture outside for the well-being of my body? I don't want it. But I sure did. I bundled myself up and got my little butt in the car and went to my class. And then I got home, and then we found out that somebody had robbed a bank around the street from us. And I was like, who was robbing a bank in -degree weather?
I mean, to be fair, we just talked about the liquor store getting robbed last week because they were trying to tell y'all niggas to stay down. To be fair, so it tracks. It
Yeah.
tracks.
Criminals in cold weather. You know how they say like crime gets bad when it's hot outside, like crime here gets real weird when it's cold for some reason. I don't know what it is.
Oh, what we got this week, Ty?
So, we got a new song by Sexyy Redd and Bruno Mars.
Yes.
Somebody said, I want to know how much debt this man is in.
Let 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 me go first. Let me go first, right? So, okay, what it's called? It's called what? Fat, Juicy, and Wet, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So I sent you a post from the Shade Room this past Thursday
Yeah.
of them pretty much promoting that they had a new song coming out.
Mm-hmm.
The moment I saw it, I was like, what does this even sound like? What is this gonna sound like? And well, let me get this out the way. This song sucks. Let me jump out the window right now and say this song sucks. It's dog. It's weird with Bruno Mars because it's almost we've gotten to the point to where we've heard so many different versions of Bruno Mars as far as genre. I don't even know what Bruno Mars himself sounds like anymore.
But I like the stuff he did with Cardi B. Like he had a couple of songs with her, and I like the stuff that he did with her, and I was expecting it to sound similar. If that makes sense. Of course I wasn't expecting it to be like a rip off of, because obviously Sexyy Redd is her own person. But I never expect anything. I don't know a good word for it, but I don't expect anything from Sexyy Redd that's not ratchet and crazy. Does that make
But
so?
this is like almost and it's this is weird for me to say in 2025, but with what they were aiming, because they're clearly trying to give Sexyy Red a hit. They're clearly going to press the button with this song. But like, it's almost overly vulgar.
It is. I saw a TikTok of somebody being like, Kids Bop is probably sweating right now trying to figure out how they gonna make
Way around this. So I kid you not. I kid you not. I heard this song on the radio going to work yesterday morning. I heard this song on the radio. Like, they literally they bleep out Fat, Juicy, and Wet completely.
Yes, it's just the beat. Like
Yeah.
that's it.
What
I
are
don't
we
know
doing?
because you can't really because Sexy Red because this reminds me when when WAP came out and they were
Oh,
like,
yeah, that you know what?
"Ooh."
That's that's a great comparison because like that came and I was like that was almost like a whoa moment.
Yeah, they were like, "What
Like
are we gonna do? What
like
are we gonna do?
y'all went there with this.
What are we gonna do?" They were panicking. Immense panic had happened
But
because they were like, "How do we play this on the radio? How do we do this?" Because like I mean that song don't have like not one bit of like PG-13 in it, not even a little bit.
none.
That is a BET uncut song for sure.
What do you think of this song?
It's a song. Again, again, I don't I think it has an audience. Maybe I'm not said audience. I don't hate it. I'm not going to reach for it. I'm not adding it to a Spotify playlist or anything. But, if I hear it somewhere or out and about or on a TikTok or, wherever within life, I'm not going to be like, I'm going to switch this because I hate this song so much. I don't know. It's not my vibe. I feel like the stuff he did with Cardi B was better. So.
At this point, I am convinced that Bruno Mars is in debt with the Yakuza.
he done got he done got wrapped up with some like some crazy Vegas like
Well,
crazy people.
they said he was $5 million in the hole from Vegas casinos. That's why he did that residency there recently.
I feel like he's too young to have a residency. When I found out that happened, I was like, why?
That's
Not
what I'm
resident.
saying. That's
I
what
feel
I'm
like
saying.
I feel like you have to have like been in like I understand why Britney Spears or Usher or I even understand why Adele had a residency. I don't understand why Bruno Mars has the Silk Sonic stuff that made sense. Other what are you gonna do? No, the other stuff didn't make sense.
Yeah, he's well. Quick question, 'cause I'm glad you actually brought that up. Um, who are some artists you want to see do a residency?
Um, who would have a good residency? Um, I think maybe if Mary J. Blige didn't have anything else going on in her life, I would watch her. I would go see Mary.
You'll see, Mary.
Yeah.
You know what? A Vegas residency. So this is like big.
Hmm. Or
Um,
small. I mean, depending on the residency, like where you're having your residency at. Because Silk Sonic was small. It was not like a big thing. It was like in the back of it was like looked like a speakeasy
man,
shit show.
who-
So it depends on the person.
I ain't gonna lie. Only because I think it would just be sheerly just entertaining. I wouldn't mind a Bobby Brown residency.
That would be insane.
I feel like that would be entertaining. Give me a Jodeci residency. That
Okay,
would be entertaining.
that'd be good. That'd be good. Could you imagine if like they had, you know how they had like the like ins well, they obviously haven't had a reunion yet, but like Backstreet Boys are now like touring and shit. Like let's get some old R&B groups back together and just because Boys
Listen,
II Men has
give
already had a residency.
but look, give give Jodeci a residency and give Casey a GoPro on his head when you walking him through the crowd on the shoulders of his security guard.
That was the most insane shit I've ever seen. And he took the chicken out that girl's best.
Oh my god. If you know, you know. If you know, you fucking know.
Took the chicken out that girl's plate. It was insane.
We also yeah, this Sexy Red, it's gonna work. It's no way it's not going to work.
You know how we said that sometimes you feel like you just age out of a group, a type of stuff, like a type of song. And the reason why we didn't like anything from uh Lord Lil Uzi Vert's
Uzi,
album was because
yeah.
we were too old. I feel like maybe this song is just not my demographic. I do listen. I do like Sexy Red and I do like
Oh
whatever,
yeah,
but
we
like
listen. Get It Sexy was one of my top songs last year.
yes, again, love her. But I feel like I am I am not that I'm too old, but just in my I just don't like to listen to overly vulgar music anymore. Like as an adult. Cuz I don't have any reason to. You know, like what what do I need to like what do I need to do? I don't know. Like even to this day, like when WAP came out, I was like, yeah, this is a good song. Am I actually going to listen to this like at any other given point? No. I
Yeah,
don't have it saved.
I don't ever go back to that song.
I
And it's
don't.
not a bad song.
It's not. It's not that it's a bad song. It's just that I don't like overly vulgar songs anymore. Like I used to listen to Trina heavy, heavy, heavy in my early 20s.
And Trina and
Woo! Woo!
Little Kim done said some things. She
Woo!
said a thing or two.
I tell you. I tell you, in my early 20s, that would be the music that I listened to. And then now in my 30s, I'm like, you know what, girls, go have fun. Enjoy yourselves.
Man. We also have some more new music though. That came out this past week. Big X the Plug dropped the deluxe version of Take Care.
Mm-hmm.
We also have a brand new, which is going to be one of my only times I'm jumping outside of my comfort zone as far as genres for this particular artist because I do listen to her music. FKA Twigs put out a new album this past week.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
She also has she has one feature on this album, which is Northwest, which is she's featured on this album rapping in Japanese.
I love that.
Also, apparently, she is in Japan with her father working on her debut album, Elementary School Dropout.
You know what's crazy? I feel like North is about to be like a juggernaut. I don't even.
But look, I think, because here's the thing. This is, as a diehard Kanye fan, I could only hope that like she's going to kill this because like as hard for me as it is for me to admit it, I can't depend on Kanye musically no longer. I can't.
But you know, but it's his kid, so you know how like
But
when
he
you're
gets you every time with the promos. His promo game gets you so excited.
and then you receive the present and you're like, it's just lettuce in a box.
Oh my god! Like
It's
I'm one day gonna tell my story and just explain to you the PTSD as a Kanye West fan going back through the whole promo run for Donda.
Oh yeah,
Oh my, oh.
the receival of Donda. It's it's crazy because like Kanye, when you're, which I mean you're experiencing this now, but when you're a parent, I never understood how my parents could sit through a recorder concert where everybody is badly playing hot cross buns, you know? And I mean badly. Badly. I don't know if you've ever seen a band concert for like fifth graders. Awful. Bad. With capital D. I tell you, real bad. And your parents sit there, they smile, they're happy. And then when you ask them, like, when you go up to them, they're like, oh, you did such a good job. Like, oh my goodness. And I'm like, how were you doing this? And then you do realize that, like, for some reason, as a parent, you get these weird earmuffs and you get these weird eye covers. And for your kid, you're willing to just be happy for them, even if it's bad. Even if the game's bad or the whatever is bad, you're just like, I'm here to be a supportive person in this kid's life. And this is the thing that worries me about it because people are thinking like, oh yeah, Kanye's gonna produce his kid's album. And I'm like, guys, you have to realize that this is her parent. Parents cannot be trusted to be rational about the abilities of their children. Okay? Have you ever seen somebody with an ugly baby? And they're like, oh my God, he's so beautiful. Babe, it's because you have glasses on. You have motherhood glasses on or dadhood glasses on. Your kid looks like a shriveled nugget. Okay? They all do. But
Shrivel Nugget is insane.
just
I
it's just
got yeah. I could only hope. Because I can't depend on Kanye anymore. I can't. And like Ty Dolla Sign's confirmed that we are getting Vultures Volume 3 this year, along with Bully, which is Kanye West's next solo album. I'm excited for those things, but it's just like
we don't
I
know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And then finally we got some heavy hitters coming out this week. We have The Weekend,
Mm-hmm.
Hurry Up Tomorrow, officially dropping, and then we also have a brand new ESTG album coming out this week. So we got some things coming. We got some things coming. Pretty excited.
No, it's gonna be good this week. I think next week's episode we're gonna have a lot to talk about. Um, so recently we learned some news. Chris Brown has filed a lawsuit against a couple of media uh, and corporations, such as Apple, um, over defamation.
Y'all about to stop playing, just making documentaries about anybody and
Yeah,
just thinking you can get it. Y'all gonna stop. Y'all gonna stop.
yeah. And I think that it's sad because for a long time after the Rihanna thing happened, I didn't listen to a whole lot of Chris Brown. And also, Chris Brown was releasing 48-hour albums. That's exaggerated, but you know what I mean? Like, and I was like, sir, you really gotta quit doing this to me because I don't have enough time to listen to an album that's 12 hours long. Okay. I understand, but please stop. Um, and so I quit listening to Chris Brown maybe a few years after the whole Rihanna thing happened. And then Rihanna made, which this was maybe in the future, Rihanna did the song Birthday Cake with him. And
Yeah,
I was
did the
like,
remix. Yep.
I said, if Rihanna has forgiven and she got him on a song, bitch, I'm done. Ban released. Because obviously she has no harsh feelings.
Because here's the
So,
here's the thing. Like these kids nowadays have no idea what cancel culture actually was once upon a time. They tried to get Chris Brown the fuck out of here.
which is crazy. I mean, it was valid. It was valid in the beginning. It was valid in the beginning. Um And he has done some things where he definitely has shown that he has some anger issues that he
Yes.
needs to work out. But we all have to realize that people are young and dumb, and we don't treat Justin Bieber like this when he was acting a fucking plumb fool for a long time.
And listen, y'all are gonna, as crazy as this sounds, y'all are one day gonna have to accept the reality when it comes to entertainment, especially the music business. No matter what, there is no bigger remedy than the slaps.
Right.
There's no bigger remedy than the slaps. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you do.
Chris Brown
Like,
probably has a charting song like every year,
I mean,
and we don't talk about
R. Kelly is the only exception to that rule because he was still giving us slaps during everything still, but like
it.
it didn't
Yeah,
matter. So that's the exception to the rule. But like
homeboy, because like, and I get it why people are like, I don't listen to R. Kelly, because I don't listen to R. Kelly anymore either. But so I get that sense of it, but no, when that came out and she had done the remix of Birthday Cake with him, I was like, bitch, we're done. We're done. We're done. Because how am I mad for you if you doing this? So I don't care. Like,
I
it's
am
fine.
put I am putting my pitchfork down.
The pitchfork was really never up. At that point, I feel like at that point, this was when Chris Brown was releasing those 58-year-long albums.
Listen,
And I was like, stop doing that. Because it
it
makes
was
me
a
listen
cool.
to
Recently seen a interview that Chris Brown's old manager did. She like was on like a podcast,
mm-hmm.
and she was talking about uh their game plan of kind of getting him through this time. So pretty much it was he was they turned down nobody as far as features. So if there was anybody that wanted to do a feat, and this is when he first started collaborating with Tyga. Tyga was really the only one that kind of embraced him during that whole time when nobody wanted to touch him. This is when he started doing like the friend for a friend mixtape. I mean the fan for a fan mixtapes.
Right.
And she was just saying, well, it was hard. It was hard for you to avoid Chris Brown if you wanted to listen to him or not, because every single song he was on it. And then right after that, he got um Deuces, I think.
Yes.
He he did that feature run, and then he caught him one, and that brought him all the way back. And then he did the I think it was the VMAs when he did the Michael Jackson tribute.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like, all right. And then he's been giving us slaps ever since then, non-stop. We gotta talk about Chris Brown catalog one of these days, man. Like
One day, there's a lot of silly things, like little things that we've always wanted to talk about, and we just never had a place to put them. So, um, but yeah, so people just keep making documentaries about him, and just like being like, he's a beater of women, and then going on about their days. And it's just strange. And I don't know who is behind this whole smear campaign of him, because like he served his media time. So either if you don't want to listen to his music because you don't like this situation at hand, then don't listen to it. But we also shouldn't be continuously making videos about people about stuff they did when they were teenagers.
he was 19 years old.
Okay. So again, we don't treat anybody else like this. We don't treat anybody else like this.
And we can name some names.
And oh, we can name some hella names. Hella names. Hella names.
We could.
And we don't treat people like this. So why is he special?
Hashtag we listen and we don't judge.
Anyway, so we got some sad news. Sad.
Yes.
DJ Unk passed away. Was he 43?
42 or 43, one of
Yeah.
them.
We just found out that it was cardiac arrest, like literally earlier today.
Jeez.
And if you're not familiar with DJ Unk, he's your walk it out two-step.
Two-step.
Um,
Can we just have a quick tangent? Cause that was what, 2007, 2008,
yeah, rough.
around that. Let's talk about that time though. Just musically, it was people don't realize, and it's crazy to think that a lot of these things are now 15 plus years ago now.
Yeah, a lot of snap music. Everything had a dance. Um, Shit. Even McDonald's had a snap music commercial.
Yes, they
Like,
did.
what the fuck? And so I don't know. I think that we're kind of not really coming back around, but I feel like I've seen a lot more southern rappers kind of resurge themselves. Um and a very Louisiana rappers have been uh making a way recently.
Oh yeah, we got NBA YoungBoy, Fredro Bang. It's a few.
Yeah.
It's a few.
They've been running amok. I was like, "Whoa, wait."
It's a few, and then you got to remember that that was around the time Lil Wayne did Carter 3, and then that
Yeah.
crazy mixtape run that he had. That was the around. That was around the time we were getting a Gucci Mane mixtape every week.
Oh yeah. That was insane.
This was the time like datpiff.com was still a thing, and like niggas was still burning CDs.
Right. Right. Your LimeWire killing your fucking computer.
Nigga,
Um
like, bro, y'all don't understand. LimeWire, FrostWire, BearShare, the Pirate Bay. I mean, if you really was about that life,
yeah. I tell you, we was frying them computers.
listen. I no lie. I had an old laptop. I bought a laptop, and I had bought a. This was when like external hard drives first became like a thing.
Yeah.
I bought me like a half terabyte um the drive, external hard drive. And like when I tell you I had pirated like every cartoon TV show, like full seasons of just living single and recess, and cause this was before like streaming services really like was the juggernaut that they are now, cause like
Right.
everything is on streaming services
Everything
now.
was cable still then.
But like you couldn't find Pepper Ann. You couldn't find. There were like old show. You just couldn't find because they weren't syndicated.
No.
Oh,
You had to go buy the DVD or something somewhere.
I was the man back then. But yeah, man. Rest in peace, DJ Unk. Black man, dog. Take take care of yourself, man. Take care of yourself.
Heart health is really important, guys. To take care of yourselves, man.
Please do.
All right. Well, speaking of people who might need a Vegas show,
Your transition game.
we- we're here for one's gotta go. All right.
Okay.
So
Y'all know how this works. Y'all know how this works. Ty has a personally curated one's gotta go for Clev, for me. I'm gonna have 4 options. I do not know the category or the 4 options, so this will be my live reaction, and I will give you my step-by-step breakdown of my thought process of who has to go. What do we have this week, Ty?
we've got musical groups.
Let's
Okay.
do it.
So your first one is Jodeci, Drew Hill, Boys to Men, and New Edition.
This is by far the easiest one for me,
I already
but
knew what you were gonna pick,
for
but
fun, let's walk through it.
go
I
for it.
actually have one for you as well, 'cause I feel like we're gonna have some time.
Go ahead.
So, my thought process on this, off rip, off rip, New Edition is safe.
Yeah, they gotta be
New
safe.
Edition is my all-time favorite R&B group. Um, any iteration of New Edition. You can give me the late 70s New Edition as kids. You can give me the Bobby Brown New Edition. You can give me the Bobby Brown list New Edition with Johnny Gill. I mean, well, no, take that back. I do not want the Bad Boys New Edition
Not the
from like '03. I don't want that New Edition.
you said this is the only exception. I don't want
Bad Boys New Edition. No, we good on that Playboy. But yeah, they're safe.
that.
They're safe. And then from that, for me personally, my next is safe is Drew Hill.
Okay.
I feel like Drew Hill is the most underrated R&B group of all time.
They were fantastic. And I mean like syncrasy of dancing, the songs. I mean, Cisco is the most dramatic man you will ever fucking meet. Like if you go back and watch any Cisco music video, you will see the most drama you have ever seen in your entire life. Him and Tyrese, I don't know what was wrong with them, but they were the most dramatic men in a music video I have ever seen.
And also, a quick tangent. I remember like Cisco was on Instagram Live one time, but like he was on Instagram Live, but it was only like 5 people in the live. So like you could actually have a conversation with this man. It's only 4 other people in this room. You
Just
know what I'm
talk to
saying? I thought that was pretty cool.
be like in that beauty music video, why'd you spin around and fall on the ground like that?
Cause you could have asked him, but I got an answer. And I legit got an answer. I thought it was pretty cool.
Why
But
did you
yeah, from there is Boyz II Men and Jodeci. It's really no secret on my opinion on this. I've kind of alluded it to the fact in the Masked Singer finale. I
Mhm.
do think Boyz II Men is overrated, man. I'm sorry. They're
Mhm.
overrated. I am sorry.
He's not down on bended knee, guys.
I'm not. I'm not. Y'all are overrated. Y'all listen. If it, I, I'm about to make y'all mad. If we really being real, right? Let's be real. End of the road, I'll make love to you, and and let it snow.
Not let it snow.
That's that's it. Don't talk to me about Motown, Philly. Don't talk. No. Boyz II Men is out of here.
I'm crying. I'm,
Boyz II Men is out of here. No. They're overrated, man.
I come from a Boys to Men household, so I if my mom hears this, she might literally bury me on some Boys to Men slander. But yeah, I kind of agree though. I feel like comparative to the other music groups, they are kind of the weakest link here. But I feel like Boys to Men was also the only group of this group of people that kind of transcended over to pop charts, if that makes sense. Like they weren't just a black group, like you know what I mean? Like it wasn't just like black 90s R&B music. Because a lot of like NSYNC and Backstreet Boys and stuff were created around the idea of Boys to Men.
Yeah,
So
but like I
I
could say
give
that.
them that. I
I
give
could
them
say that.
I'm
I
not
could
saying
say
that
that. But I could say the exact same thing about B2K.
this is true. But I guess what I'm saying is that like I respect how their influence in the space happened. And I respect that a lot of like as a person who loved NSYNC growing up, I wouldn't have got that if it wasn't for Boys to Men. So I respect that. Do I think they're better than these groups? No. But do I respect that? Yes. Is what I'm
Okay. Well, listen, I got one for you.
Go ahead.
Let's do this. I am also gonna keep this in the R&B realm. I feel like I know what your answer is, but I would love to have this conversation because I feel like all four of these options are solid.
I'm scared.
Okay, so we have Janae Aiko,
Mm-hmm.
we have Summer Walker,
Mm-hmm.
we have Ella May,
Okay.
and we have SZA.
So immediately SZA's safe.
Okay.
I love SZA. She's safe. Summer Walker is safe. That leaves me Janae and Ella. And honestly, they both kind of weird. Let's be let's be honest.
Hold on, wait. Okay,
They
wait,
both
wait.
kind of weird.
Let's delve on in this further. What makes them weird? I can see what you're saying with Janae, but like, what makes Ella May weird?
You know what? I told you I'm never forgiving that girl. I'm never going to forgive her for what she did to Jack, please. I'm never forgiving
She
her.
didn't do it. That was DJ Mustard.
I know, but still, either way, not forgiving. Because you could have been like, let him have it. It's fine. Like, no, you didn't do anything to stop this. I'm mad at you. I feel like I like Janae Aiko's music more than I like LMA's. Not that I don't like LMA, but if somebody said, you gotta choose one of these CDs right now, I'm choosing Janae.
Okay.
So, Ella gotta go.
Um,
So sorry.
as crazy as it sounds, Janae would go for me
Yeah,
on just purely off of I listen to her music the least.
right. Which
Like
I felt like
that.
that makes sense for you because I feel like a lot of her music is very women centered. If
Oh,
that makes sense.
yes.
So like it would make sense for you not to be like, I don't really fuck with this because this is not relatable in any way.
Nigga, it was a oh my god. Fuck Boys was down when Back on My BS came out, man.
Listen, real down
That
on the
was
grind.
a rough day.
Y'all, y'all go.
We was down bad when
Could
that
you
shit
imagine?
came out.
You put on your Dio Savage on, you got your shirt on, and then you find out that shit done released. Oh,
I'm
your
like,
girl ain't calling you back.
oh, this isn't gonna hurt.
Yep.
Also, before I forget, back on the music topic, Future announced a new mixtape. It's on the way.
Yes, and I'm like, Future, what have you been doing? Don't you got 12 kids? Don't you got other hobbies besides you done released 2 albums and now a mixtape?
Listen,
Sir.
if it means we getting some most slaps, fuck them kids, neglect them, give me the slaps. They'll be all right. They're well taken care of. Give me the slaps.
Don't you? It's like,
Don't care. Don't care.
I know they all have winter programs coming up. Like, what you mean?
Right. They
You
are.
go to, they got Valentine's Day parties coming up. You gonna help do something?
They not hungry. They don't need that. All right. Get your ass back in that studio.
Could you imagine check-ins with the moms? Be like, hey, how's it going?
Get your ass in that
Back
studio.
in there. Don't call me with no bullshit.
But yeah, man. Let us know what you think, man. One gotta go. We gave you two of them this week. Let us know what you think.
Yeah. I gotta tell you about a show I've been watching though.
Let me strap myself in because it's becoming a running thing. This is almost becoming like a running joke. Like you introduced me to something new, to something I have no clue about, and it be the wildest shit ever.
I don't have anything super, super crazy. Nothing super, super crazy this week. This does have two other episodes, not two other episodes, two other seasons, but the third season just released. So there's a show on Peacock called Traders, if you haven't seen it before. It's a bunch of reality stars, and they go to this Scottish mansion. Okay.
Oh, this is the I've seen previews of this, but I've
Yes.
never watched the show. Okay.
So I've
Okay.
seen the other two seasons of this. So reality stars, they go to this Scottish mansion, and um the first day they're all come as equals, blah blah blah. They have a round table, and the host of the show, selects people to be the traitors. The traitors' job is to kill off all of the faithfuls. So they've got to connive, lie, do whatever to kill these people off this show, okay? And to win. So, the third season just started, and I know this episodes are about an hour long. The first episode is even longer, but I like to get on my treadmill and watch the show because it's so entertaining to watch these reality stars from different shows. So it's not like you're getting like there's housewives, there's people from The Challenge, there's people from Big Brother, there's people from Survivor. So it's like all different types of reality shows. Um all on this one show, and it's a pretty big cast too. And this season they have some new twists. So if you need something to watch while you're on a treadmill, or if you need something to just watch for an hour while you're doing something, turn this goddamn show on because you will be enthralled the entire time. It is so fun. It is so fun.
Just because it's on brand and it's eerily similar. I think we need to take a couple minutes and have a quick memory lane tangent about Among Us.
Yo. Okay. Let's talk about
Let's do it, man.
so
It's been 5 years now.
so in 2020, we were all home for quarantine, as everybody remembers. And we all decided that we were going to have a Discord server, and we were all going to play Among Us. Who prompted this? Who said we were going to do this? We don't even know. I don't know how this ended up
I
happening.
feel like okay, from how I remembered it, okay, this was always my idea. And I've always told you about it. It was one of those because it was like it's the same way how this podcast came to fruition. It was just something we always talked about. Hey, maybe this would be a cool thing that we can do, but then we talk about it for like a year and then don't never do it. And I think I finally just said fuck it and just made a Discord server and found like two, three other people other than you that either knew how to play or was interested in learning how to play. And it kind of grew from there.
Right. And everybody was like locked at home too. So this was like the perfect time to do this. So, um, we started playing Among Us, and I think that we grew to a point where somebody always had to somebody had to sit out around because we had so many people in this room at one point.
I vividly remember we had like at least 15 people in the chat at
There was
once.
one time, yeah, it was crazy. Literally insane. And this is a big reason why for a long time that when TikTok first came out, my TikTok thought I was from Michigan because all of my friends that I had were in Michigan because of this.
Yes,
So I was like, so my TikTok for a long time was like, "Are you from Detroit?" I'm like, "No."
the funniest thing ever.
Are you from Michigan? No. Like, and I would get nothing but Michiganander things, and I'm like, I don't. What do you mean? I don't even think I've ever been to Michigan.
We
Maybe.
tried to plan an entire weekend to where we was gonna get an Airbnb.
Oh yeah. And then there was so much crap going on around then, and it was just bad. It never made it out to chat. I mean, it was so sad.
It never made it out the chat, and then it was funny. The actual day I vividly remember this. The actual day that it was supposed to happen, it rained like all day, so we couldn't. If we would have did it, we wasn't gonna be able to do because we planned to do so much shit,
Oh yeah.
and it was like we wouldn't have been able to do anything. But no, Among Us was, oh my god, it was so much fun. Like I don't think I've ever been more pissed off playing a game before.
Oh yeah. Cleb was always enemy number one. Enemy number one.
Suspect number one.
I tell you, and rest in peace, Rex. But like
Rest in peace, Rex.
I I got Cleb in a room and murdered him in front of his friend, and then tried to be like, it was.
Nah, I remember. I
Oh my god,
remember.
he didn't trust me again after that.
I remember one time with Rex that he was playing with his girlfriend. His girlfriend at the time was playing with this, and then a body gets found. He immediately says that it was her, and then she was just like, "Well, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. I know you're gonna vote me out for no reason, but it wasn't me." His response was, "All right, bet," and he ended up being wrong. Oh, oh my God. Yeah, yeah.
I
Um,
tell you,
shout out to Dylan, shout out to Ambria, shout out to Lola, shout out to Jasmine, shout out to Patrick, shout out to James, shout out to
Tulip,
Tulip, shout out to Kiosha, shout out to man who like, it's yeah, yeah.
it
Shout
was a
out to y'all,
time.
man.
It was a
It
time.
was a time. I have a show for you that I recently started.
Go for it.
So, um, well, first of all, let me start with this because this inspired me to start this show finally. Um, you are officially on the clock, Ty. Season 4 of Raising Kanan starts first week of March. It just got announced.
Yes, and I have already made my little schedule because there was some stuff that I had to get through. Um, like I had to finish Squid Games and I had to finish like other stuff because I was already committed to it and I hadn't started a new season yet for Raising Kanan. So this week, while I'm at work, I'm going to watch Raising Kanan. So,
Okay, I'm glad you reminded me. So but let's swing back. Before I talk to you about my show,
mhm,
let's talk about Squid Games since you did go back to finish it.
yes. So first of all, the setup for a season 3, immaculate. Immaculate. And oh boy, literally on the last episode when they took him, I was literally like, yo stupid ass should stayed on that goddamn plane. Yo dumbass should have took your red-headed self and got your butt on that plane and left. Cause now look at you.
So, spoiler alert, obviously, for those who have not seen it yet. It's two things. The season was okay. Was it better than the first season? Absolutely not.
No. But I don't think that they intended, well, and this is the thing. So it's not like Netflix now, because this show was not originally a Netflix special. Like it wasn't a Netflix original. They bought this and put it on Netflix, and we just happened upon the shit. That's really what happened. So I don't think that they are really intending really on making something like something else. And if so, it would have been like Korean based. It wouldn't have been, you know,
Right.
this. So, um, hopefully it doesn't take 5 years for us to get something else. And I don't think it will.
I think
Um,
season 3 will be next year.
yes. But like the I do like the setup. Like, I feel like if you're going to give us another season, this was a great way to move forward the plot.
There's
Because
there's
the first season ended so much. Like, because all of the characters either are dead, you know, and then he wraps up the story of like, uh, old boy, we think old boy's dead, because he got shot off the cliff. Like, everything
yeah.
is so wrapped up. So you're gonna have to reintroduce a whole new line of shit now. Um, and I think this was a great way to do it. Not that I just don't think it's comparative to the first.
There's two things I did not like about this season at all.
Okay.
First, they made 001 too obvious. Like I figured that out episode 1.
Right.
They made it too it's like no, if you're player 001, like I will forever not trust you under any circumstances.
No, you are part of the regime, you know?
Like they made that it was like blatant. And then the one thing that bothered me the most about this season. So you remember the scene to where they finally said fuck it and started scrapping, which we all knew was gonna happen because it happened in season 1. And
Right.
then you remember the scene that little bitch ass dude was running and then he was hiding in the bed and then tried to throw the girl the bottle to help her and then just watched her die.
Yes. Yes. It's just stupid because old boy was my favorite character just to die by a fucking board.
I'm like, so you was just gonna let her just get just shacked up and you just look at
Yeah.
nigga.
I hated it. I was like, yo,
But yeah, so back to back to the show that I started. So in motivation of knowing that Raising Canaan is coming back in March, I went back and started a show that's been on my list for a while. And it goes by the name of Gangs of London.
interesting.
I started this show. It's your typical like mafia show. I don't know what it is about like British TV shows, like dramas and like thrillers and shit, but like hey, put it in an IV and hook it up to straight to my veins.
Right. I love a British TV show. I love it.
But I also always say I will never visit Britain. I will never visit England.
Why not?
England looks like the most boring place to be.
That's sad.
It's
Come on
ra-
now.
it's rainy all the time. The food sucks.
They ain't got no
Like
air conditioning, no
I
creature.
would I would never go to England.
That's
But
crazy.
yeah, it's your typical mafia show. It starts also the main character is Sean. So it's kind of like British gangs. And his family is like a part of this like mob pretty much, and his dad is like the head motherfucker. Spoiler alert: Dad gets killed within the first 5 minutes of this show.
My God,
Yes.
this is some
So
demon slayer ass shit. Like,
so
dead in the
out
first 5 minutes.
out the gate, it's the plot point is the son is taking over the family business pretty much,
Yeah.
and they're trying to figure out like who murdered his father.
Right.
But everybody that works for his father, you know what I'm saying, as far as trades and drug dealers or whatever, now has to report to his kid. And it's like, it's kind of cause like nobody respects this kid at all. They're all pretty like I'm like 6 episodes in and like everybody else that's not his family then pretty much called him a bitch.
Damn.
Like they just don't think like you're not your father type shit. So he has this huge chip on his shoulder, and like there's another character, black guy named Elliot, who gets in close with the family and Sean. You know what I'm saying, doing little odd jobs here and there, working out. Spoiler alert, big plot twist that Elliot is a cop. So it's going to be like that. It's 2 seasons of this show currently. A third season has been announced.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still in season 1. You know it's gonna be that big moment to where Sean's gonna find out that his right hand man is a cop, and then like
Gonna tell
and
from there.
and because like the big thing about this show was like the father was working with like a black man and like his family. So like
Mm-hmm.
it's this British black family and this British white family that's like always just been tight knit together. So the older black guy, I think his name is Edward, who was like his dad's right hand man. Uh, just recently, his daughter just tried to fuck Elliot.
Mm.
So that's gonna it's some conflict of interest things that's gonna be coming up pretty soon. But really good show. AMC usually does not steer me wrong when it comes to their shows. This is an AMC show. So yeah, if you never seen Gangs of London, check that out, man. We also have Mass Singer coming back in a couple weeks, I believe.
Right.
And then really quick, who is somebody you would love to see on Mass Singer?
Mm, I feel like Zac Efron for the one time needs to just like come out and just sing for us. Thank you. I don't
Mm.
think anybody would get him. That's the thing.
Just because it's so many directions that you could go for her clues. And I just think that she could probably win. I would love to see Brandy on The Masked Singer.
Oh yeah, Brandy would be a good one.
I think Brandy would be a great one. Or make the costume a two-person and do Brandy and Monica. Now we're talking.
Yeah, I don't think they'd ever do that. But I think that Brandy would be a good one
I
for
think
sure.
Brandy. Yeah, I think Brandy. But yeah, I think we got Masked Singer coming back pretty soon. We got Raising Kanan coming back. I already talked about Invincible coming back. Yeah, man, we got some shows. We got some shows. We got some shows. Did you watch anything else this week?
No, that's about it. I've kind of been reading a lot, so haven't been watching too many shows. Um, and like I said, just wrapping up stuff that I'd already been watching. But not that you live under a rock, because I'm the person who lives under a rock, but I did discover something while I was under my rock.
Let's go, man.
So I'm not sure if you are familiar with who Blake Lively is.
Sure isn't.
Okay. So this is God Lord. His name was in my mind. Guys, my brain does not work today. Um
We old, man.
Ryan this is Ryan Reynolds' wife. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So recently, and as I said, I like to read. There is a woman who wrote a book called It Ends With Us, and her name is Colleen Hoover. Her books are really popular amongst readers. I don't necessarily like her style of writing, but that's just me. Whatever, whatever. A lot of people have credited her for getting them back into reading books, which I think is incredible. So, um, they turned her book into a movie adaptation. Now, spoiler warning and trigger warning. This book is about domestic violence. Okay. Um,
Oh.
so
Um. Okay.
okay. So it's about a girl who goes through a really bad relationship with a guy. Okay. So This movie is made into well, this book is made into a movie. The star of the movie is Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. I hope I'm saying his last name right. And I don't know if you have ever seen Jane the Virgin. That's probably the most notable thing that I could think of him being in.
I've
Um,
heard of it.
okay, so he plays Raphael in Jane the Virgin, who is the baby's father. Okay, which if you've watched Jane the Virgin, you know who the baby's father is. Anyway, so so he's in that show. He plays the love interest in this movie. Now, while this movie was shooting, there was like some conflict going on. So it all started off fine, and the way that they were promoting these movies were completely different. So people were getting kind of pissed at Blake because when the movie promotion came out, Justin was like, okay, if you need resources for domestic violence or whatever, here's the resources, like blah blah blah. Like, he was treating this very seriously, right? Like, if you're gonna come watch this movie, be safe, like, and if you need resources, here's resources. Right? Blake was promoting this as if it was like, get your girlfriends and come see this movie. And it's like, maybe this is a movie about domestic violence. That's like being like, okay, everybody, get your best girlfriends and come see Precious. Okay? Like,
Like,
no.
listen, come one, come all, one night only. What love got to do with it?
No. So people were already pissed. And also, she launched a hair care line about the same time. So they were like, this feels kind of insensitive to this really dramatic role that you're playing in, right? So after there's a whole bunch of changes to the movie mid production. So, and they can't figure out what's going on, and like nobody really has insight, but it feels like there's some tension going on in the middle of the movie. Once it's time for them to actually do the promo for this movie, Justin is nowhere to be found. Okay? He does some promo, but like not a lot, and none of it with Blake, right? Which is odd. So we're like, okay, strange. So Blake comes out and says Justin and his team and everybody on the movie were shitty and they were mean to me, and they practically borderline sexually assaulted me. Justin called me fat, like all this other stuff, right?
Holy shit.
Bad, bad. Okay?
So this is like she's talking about her experience from shooting this movie.
Yes, yes. Okay? But stay with me. Stay with me here. So she puts out a lawsuit against Justin and says all of these things. Justin called me fat. He was being creepy. He was hitting on me. He was doing all these things, right? Justin then files a counter lawsuit with recipients, y'all.
I know that's right. I know that's right. Listen, listen. I'm sorry. I'm sorry because I am an advocate of the world don't give a fuck about niggas. So when we get stories like this to where we fight back, like let's go.
So, so Justin says, I didn't call this girl fat. He was like, I have a back injury and I had to lift her. Okay. And he said, I wanted to lift her properly so I wouldn't hurt myself and I also wouldn't hurt her. So I was working with my physical therapist and I asked how much she weighed so I could properly train myself to lift her properly. Okay.
Stop right there. Cause like I'm sorry, I'm pressing the tangent button. Cause we gotta we I as a woman, I need you to explain this for me, okay? Explain to me in like woman brain. How cause like oh my god, y'all about to hate it. Okay. Cause like I feel like this happens a lot. Y'all y'all take A process A in your mind and put out B, which is like, how do we go from I am going to a physical therapist to make sure I can properly do this scene in this movie to protect myself and my coworker. How do you hear he called me fat? Like, let's explain to me in woman brain how.
I honestly, I don't know if this was miscommunication or any or if somebody just asked her, Justin wants to know how much you weigh, and didn't and they didn't provide more information. I'm not sure why she came up with this conclusion, right? But it doesn't. It would feel, I guess, to me, it would feel weird if one of my coworkers, like, if I was on a movie set, if somebody from their team came up and asked me how much I weighed. That, but she should have inquired on why you're asking that, or like what like I don't know. So this could have been a miscommunication situation, and we don't know. But according to her lawsuit, she said that he was not treating her weight, well. Anyway, so we're gonna keep going though. So then she said that he was sexually assaulting her, and there was no intimacy coordinator on set. Justin came back and said, no, we were rolling at the time of, because she said that he had said something creepy to her. Um, and for sake of time, we won't get into all the things that she thinks that she says that he said, but um, they were rolling at the time, so they had actual film of this conversation, and he gave them the film with the conversation, and it was about her spray tan. She was like, "Oh, I bet my spray tan stinks," and he was like, "No, it smells fine. Like you're fine. Like and he wasn't, and she was saying that he was saying like you smell good, like being a creep, and he was not being a creep to her. Um, so,
Dog,
but one thing I have noted while
dog.
while reading this, okay, the real bad guy is not Blake Lively here. It's Ryan Reynolds. Okay?
Oh shit.
Let me tell you why. Okay, so I can say that there's a period of time in the lawsuit where you can tell that Blake and Justin are texting, and they aren't really texting appropriately for people who are married. It's not vulgar, it's not like they were, but it's kind of flirtatious in a way, not very appropriate.
Without proper context, it could be taken the wrong way.
Yes. And just it's just kind of odd texting for people who are coworkers, right? And so I think that um Ryan got upset. This is my theory. This is my theory. I know nothing. But I think he got upset because there's a period of time where Ryan Reynolds is on set and he is making executive changes to this season. You know how to this movie. Because you
Yeah.
remember how I said earlier that there was changes made and we don't know why. At that point we didn't know why. Ryan was making changes and adding lines and doing stuff and whatever the case may be, right? To this movie. And after you look at all of the evidence in the lawsuit and the counter lawsuit, I really think that Ryan Reynolds was just worried that his wife was about to fuck that man.
I mean, to be fair, okay. Let me let me let me shoot, let me shoot
And
my
he
man some
lost
bell.
his mind
Let me shoot
and
my
put
man some bell.
his whack ass lawsuit on.
To be fair, we literally seen this with Brad and Angelina.
Oh yeah,
Literally, we've seen Brad and Angelina. Heck, we just talked about this with Tom Holland and Zendaya.
right.
It,
And also, this is how how when like I don't know if dudes say this or not, and this is just like a girl saying, but you lose them how you get them. So Blake and Ryan were both dating other people when they met each other on the set of Green Lantern and then started dating each other.
I hate when people do that and think it's gonna be some different shit.
So
Ugh. You kinda triggered me a little bit with this one, because it's
I'm
like
sorry.
it's
That's
like
crazy.
no, because it's like the whole okay, say like and I'm not saying this happened before, but like as an example, so like my wife cooked me something for dinner, like some I don't know, some pork chops, whatever. She cooked me some dinner. You know what I'm saying? I'll wanna put a little bit of hot sauce in my shit. You know what I'm saying? Grab my hot sauce. Oh, what do you need? What do you need hot sauce on? Is it not good? Does it not have enough flavor? Why do y'all brains j- get to such conclusions out of completely unrelated shit?
Do you remember our very first episode when we were talking about turning the knob to 10?
Yes.
This is that.
I don't get it. I don't for the life of
The
me.
knob's on 0. They do something that pisses you off. Now we at 2. It
I'll be
just
like, how did you get that out of this?
we're overthinkers, okay?
How,
Everything means something.
yeah, but that holy shit. Yeah, I think in 2025 it's just lawsuits everywhere. It's just everybody is suing for everything.
But everybody thinks that Ryan had put her up to this, to putting up this lawsuit and saying these terrible things about Justin.
So
And I think
you
that
about to
Justin's
lose?
gonna
Yeah.
take them
Well,
smooth the fuck out.
it was like the whole. You remember that rumor that's saying that Will Smith fucked Margot Robbie?
Yeah.
It was kind of like that, but like in all honesty, it was kind of like at that point. I'm sorry, at that point, it was as a man looking at this, it was like, well, yeah, that's
Well,
that's what's supposed to happen. I'm sorry,
yeah.
ladies. I'm just being honest. At that time, in that situation, niggas, yo nigga, looked at those pictures and was like, well, yeah,
Yeah.
that was supposed to happen.
Well, yeah.
Holy shit. Well,
No.
listen, we got we got plenty of time right now. We're doing great on time. I want to go back to memory lane.
Okay.
Now, this is a little something that I started last episode. I am going to say a phrase that is related to me and Ty's past. She doesn't know what this is, and we're just gonna go. So I'm gonna say a phrase. You tell me what this phrase means to you. So this week, um, I because I forgot the exact name of it. So we're just gonna do it like this, and we're gonna talk about it, and we're gonna have a lot of fun talking about it.
I'm scared.
This week's phrase is Miss Hector's Frontier Journal.
Yo, I hated this. Okay. So it was okay.
This is
Shout
gonna
out to
be
Miss
fucking
Hector.
great.
I don't know what her new last name is now, but she's married and she's a principal at one of our high schools now.
Oh, I forgot. I
Yeah.
used to remember what it was, but shout out
Yeah.
to Miss Julie.
Yeah. Shout out to her. So if anybody's ever played Oregon Trail before,
That dysentery, man.
that's literally what this was. But we had to write a journal every day about something that was happening. Like we had to write a journal about what was happening in our lives as poor people moving to the West. So everybody started off the same. Like we had a dad, we had a mom, we had a kid. Like like there was like donkeys and stuff. And then we would roll the dice, and then it would just be whatever happened. Like 2 of your cows died, and we're like, oh my god.
Or
And so
like, or like, I vividly remember somebody rolled the dice, and if so, like, you have to, you have to write it indicative on what you land on. So
right.
you have a starting point, And then whatever you land on, you have to write like this. So, for instance, I vividly remember somebody rolling the dice, and like it was like they they carriage hit a bump in the road, and they baby fell out the carriage, and the baby
Yes, I
died.
remember this.
So, like, they give you this outcome, and you have to write that in your journal as a part of the story of what happened,
Yeah,
because you're writing this journal as from the standpoint of you're living through this, and this is a daily journal that you are writing from the perspective of this journey.
right.
So, and it could be it could be all types of stuff. Like, you could have got like attacked by Native Americans and they robbed you of your food, and
Right. Like
oh my.
anything could have happened. And then there would be on like Fridays where people could write in suggestions and she would pull out a suggestion. And I'm like, I hate the kids in these class. These YNs. I tell you, I was like, please. Literally, I was like, can we get something good? Like we discovered like a pot of gold or something. Like, can we have no, we were always in shambles. We were always dying.
But like, here's
Like
my thing. Adult me is looking back at this and was like, what was this supposed to teach us?
I think it was narrative writing because it was an English teacher. She was an English teacher.
Yes.
So we were learning narrative writing. But this, I mean, we were going through the struggle.
Go.
The struggle. Do you remember? Were you there for the music roulette? And she would have this. It was like a song medley, and you had to write how you felt, or she had a thing where you had to write instructions on how to make a PB&J, and like half the people didn't write good instructions, so like their PB&J was like they're like two
So
take
yeah,
two.
so I do remember that because like she would take all of our papers and then try to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, like
Yeah,
but she would take our instructions in
literally.
literal terms.
Yes. So you had to have like exact detailed instructions or you was not about to get no PB&J because like they would be like take the lid off and she'd be like, "Okay, what the fuck do I do with this?" I'm like,
And she just
"God,
holds on to the lid.
these
No,
C stands would not make it."
the only other thing that I remember Miss Hector doing was you remember the game?
What game?
Okay, so it was only referred to as the game.
Oh yeah,
But
I remember this. I
yes,
remember this.
so like it was in the confines of her classroom and her classroom only. We couldn't discuss it with any other teachers or anyone outside of the class. But like it was like a behavioral thing.
Mhm.
So like it'll be times to where like she would go in and check on other classes. And then if she sees like you're either acting out or talking or anything, you're out of the game,
Yeah.
which is bad. You
Right.
don't want to be out of the game.
Right.
So like she'll come in. Like I remember, oh my god, and this might go on another tangent when I say this name. I remember she walked into Miss Sweet's class one
Oh
time.
my god, I love this sweet.
And obviously she didn't and she don't tell none of the other teachers neither. So like she walks in, the classroom is dead silent, and Miss Sweet is just confused as ever.
Like, what's going on with these
What
kids?
the fuck is going on here? Oh my gosh. Shout out to Miss Hector, man.
Yeah, she's great. And then no, I in middle school there was only one teacher that I didn't like,
Who didn't you like?
Mr. Daniels.
Ah,
I
that
didn't
was
like
my man's. Why you ain't like Mr. Daniels?
I didn't like him.
You didn't like him?
Nah. You know how like some teachers like there's like that stereotype where it's like a white man history teacher who also also coaches football and they just have this weird elitist kind of feeling to them and I hated it. He was the only teacher that ever gave me detention. I was a good kid. I never fucked up. And I had gum in my mouth on gum day. On gum day, which gum day was like a day you could go buy gum and you could chew it. Like you could have gum because you normally couldn't have, but it was like a fundraiser. So you paid $1, you got a pack of gum and you could chew it. You had a pass that you could have to chew gum. But he didn't like gum. So we got into computer lab and I forgot to spit it out. And he asked me, he was like, "Do you have gum?" I said, "Yeah, I forgot to spit it out. I'm sorry." And then literally came up and gave me detention for it.
That was the same. That was like Mr. Ball for me. He was the only teacher I ever got in trouble in.
Mr. Ball was hard on y'all.
Dog, he was hard on me personally, just
Oh yeah.
specifically.
Mhm.
It was like, dog, why?
Listen, I don't know what you did to that man.
We'll
That
never know.
padlock on his pants was crazy. Don't be sagging.
We will never know. But yeah, I didn't really care for Miss Sweet though, honestly. She was,
I liked
for the
Miss Sweet.
lack of better terms, she was a bitch.
Ooh, I
For the
like.
lack of better terms, I'm sorry.
I never had no issues
Had
with
a
her.
mean streak to her that was just so unpleasant.
That's fair. But you
Like
dealing with middle schoolers.
everybody else, I was really cool with. Miss Robinson was cool, even though they made fun of her when she had tissue on her skirt come out the bathroom that one time.
I'm crying.
Miss Reamer was dope.
I love Miss Reamer.
Miss Reamer was dope, an amazing health teacher. Uh, um, even I'ma save that one for a later for a later debate. Yeah, it was some times back then, man.
It was.
Trust me, I got plenty more of these memory lanes, man.
I gotta tell you my unpopular opinion this week.
Oh man, listen, is she gonna continue? Listen, this is almost becoming a tie segment at this point because she keeps getting away with murder.
Not
And I'm
away
just
with the
wonder I'm
murder.
just wondering, like, how she's gonna talk herself out of this one.
Oh, I can talk myself out of everything. I tell you,
Let's see.
I'm a little sibling. Okay, we don't get in trouble.
Let's see.
And it's everybody else's responsibility. My unpopular opinion is that sometimes it's okay to gatekeep things. I was in the
Hmm.
store. I was in the store recently, and I had a perfume on. Okay, and this girl walks up to me, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, your perfume smells so good." I said, "Thank you." And she's like, "Oh, what is it?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's like a mixture of stuff," which was not untrue. It was not untrue because I did have like multiple things layered. Okay. Um, but I told her a cheaper version of the said perfume that I had on.
But
Um,
you was not gonna give her the sauce.
I was not gonna give her my $200 perfume recommendation. No, I was not. Because I smell like me, and I don't want you to smell like me, and that's okay. So, and also, it makes me feel bad to give somebody an outrageously priced recommendation. You know, because I don't know your social standings. Like, I don't know. I don't know who you are. So it would be stupid of me. So I gave her a dupe. And also, perfume is weird because a perfume can smell good on another person, on one person, and not smell good on you. So
This is true.
it depends. So I gave her, and I would feel bad if I gave you, if you smelled this and you're like, "Oh my God," and you go and spent $230 on this damn perfume, and you get it and it smells like spoiled milk on you.
Um,
You're never trusting a black person again after that. Okay, I'm just not. I I gave her a cheap alternative. It's okay to gatekeep, guys. It's
uh,
okay to gatekeep and kind of fib to people sometimes.
are you gatekeeping recipes?
Well, it depends on what it is.
I need to know what's the line for you.
So I'm pretty much an open book when it comes to certain things, but there are certain things that I know that are sacred to other people, so I don't give them away. So like, um, I have a recipe from my grandma. I don't share that recipe with other people because that was to her it was sacred. Like she didn't tell other people this recipe, so why would I tell other people? You know?
What's the dish?
It's a cobbler.
Okay. Oh,
But
oh yeah. It must be some yeah.
so I don't so she didn't tell anybody. It was her famous cobbler. She never told anybody the recipe. She only gave it to the girls in her family. That's it. And so we don't so if it were Maya asking me, like my daughter, sure. She could have it. Or if my son gets married and, they're whatever wants it or whatever, sure. They can have it. I don't care. But you cannot give this to anybody else outside of this bloodline. Absolutely not. No family,
Huh.
friends, no, 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 no. Because it was sacred to her. So since it was sacred to her, it's sacred to me. So I don't pass it around.
Um fuck, man. Go back to class, man. I can't I c- as much cuz at at this point I'm just trying to argue against you.
You want to you want to gatekeep. You don't want to gatekeep. I just feel like
But no,
sometimes
the,
it's
my
necessary.
thing is at this point I'm trying to find myself to give myself a reason to argue against you, but every week like I can't do it. Like 'cause I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah, no, I just
Like yeah, family recipes are a thing. Like
right. You don't give those out.
yeah, and with the part because men do that with cologne. Men do the exact same thing with cologne. Like we not
Right.
giving away the sauce.
That's what I'm saying. I know like 15 dudes that all wear deodorant. Why? Get a different cologne. Just because you saw it on one like it's like in high school, like every boy had like Curve Crush. They had like the Curve bottle, or they
Yeah.
had Axe or whatever. Like they all had the same thing. And I'm like, you can go to a store and smell stuff. And I think it's a way of getting out of actually exploring fragrances because you're like, it smells good, so I'll just go buy that. And it's like, no, like scents should be personalized and you should buy what smells good on you and what you think you want to smell like. Okay? So you just can't be buying up everything that somebody else didn't worn. That's insane. I shouldn't go out nowhere and smell the same cologne on 5 different dudes. That's insane.
Go
Wild
back
word.
go back to class, man.
All right.
Um I I have an unpopular opinion.
Go for it.
And I I have told myself that this year when I do have an unpopular opinion, I'm really gonna give you some, some ones.
I'm scared.
Uh this week, no different. My unpopular opinion is reboots are fine. Reboots are fine. And because with us being older now, right? And we're seeing it more and more and more and more now. Just over the past 2 years, we didn't got a reboot of Fresh Prince of Bel Air. We got a
Hmm.
White Man Can't Jump reboot. We got
Hmm.
a reboot for Space Jet. Like they're re-rocking a lot of like our old time classics.
Right.
And we're becoming Harrison Ford from Gran Torino. We're becoming him now.
I'm
Like
crying.
this what is this? This is a Space Jam. Like
Right.
we're becoming that. It, it's
It
it's
is.
it's okay. It's supposed to be different. We're not supposed to like these new iterations of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's not for us. Like when you remember how like completely trashed the Power Rangers reboot,
Yeah, nobody
and
liked it.
that is listen, look, that movie wasn't that bad. It actually was a decent movie.
I think this is the problem with managing expectations for people who have seen the originals. So I think that movie studios and stuff like that do a bad job of managing expectations. So this all reminds me of when when they redid the Ghostbusters with the girls.
Oh, white male America was pissed
Woo!
that day.
Woo! I tell you, something about managing expectations, and I feel like a lot of movie studios do not do this well. So, Jumanji, okay? I love the original Jumanji, and I loved the reboot of Jumanji. I didn't really care for Jumanji 2, but I did like,
We don't talk about that movie.
yeah, I did like the original reboot. It was a very good movie. Um, so all I can say is that reboots can be done well, and they can be done in the same spirit. But I think that one nice thing that happened with Jumanji is that when this came out and they did the reboot, it was very clear that this is not a Robin Williams Jumanji. It was very clear. Okay. They, when they set out all of the stuff, the promo and all the stuff, it was very clear how this movie was set up. Okay. Now the characters, like we knew that we were gonna have some big box names because we had Kevin Hart and The Rock and Jack Black and things like that. But they set up the expectations. They said, "Hey, this movie originally is set in the 90s with a video game, and it's very prominent. We're not playing a board game anymore because we have moved past that. We are talking about these groups of friends. This is what they look like. This is what the cast is going to be. There is a great management of expectation on top of a good deliverance of a reboot. The bad part of stuff like Ghostbusters is that they just gave you something. They just said, "We're doing something and it's got girls." And we're like, "Okay." And then they gave it to you and you go, "What the fuck is this?" So, better management of expectations on reboots will save people from complaining. If you explain to them this is what the vision is, either watch it or don't.
Like
People will figure it out from there.
Scarface is possibly the greatest reboot of all time. Scarface is a reboot
Yeah,
of a 1920s film.
yeah. I was like, so it can be done and it can be done well. I just think that these places need to work with the public and make sure that they understand what they're getting. Because if you're making silly, goofy shit, then tell us you're making silly, goofy shit, or this is inspired on something else, or whatever the case
Yeah,
may
cause like, I'm not saying the majority of these reboots aren't bad. I'm not saying that.
be. Right.
What I'm saying is I'm not I'm not buying into the whole idea of let's eliminate the idea of rebooting anything that came out from my childhood. Cause
Right.
I mean, let's be real, the house party reboot, eh,
Yeah.
it's been some stinkers, but I am not subscribed to the ideology of reboots should be banned from media consumption.
You know what I think should get a reboot?
Let's talk about it.
I want to see a Bebe's Kids reboot.
You know, I think we're actually getting one.
I would love that. Bebe's Kids is like one of my favorite like cartoon movies.
I
That
think
shit
we're
is hilarious.
I think we're actually getting one. Um, cause that do pose a great question of what I would like to see rebooted.
Yeah. Also, you can go back to class because I do agree. Things.
Hell yeah.
I'll throw that in there.
But I ain't, you know what? Just because I was such a fan of this cartoon, it's my all-time favorite cartoon. I wouldn't mind seeing a reboot of Recess, but
Fun.
of their kids.
That'd be funny.
Like if
Nelly with
TJ
the
was
kid.
like grown, but he still wears the hat, but he's like an adult now.
I can tell you right now, Spinelli don't got no kids. she,
and
she
then
got
like
no fucking kids.
and then like Randall is like the teacher in the school or something,
Right.
or he's
Right.
ended up being the principal.
That's fun. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I think that'll be dope. It didn't work with All Grown Up, obviously. It
All
did,
Grown Up was wild. I
and
was like,
idea doesn't work with everything. But
I was like,
I feel yeah, we don't talk about that.
no, that was bad.
Hey man, another week going back to class. I will take it.
All right. Well, I got a hall pass and a detention.
Let's do it.
Okay. Do you want my hall pass first or my detention first?
Uh, let's do the hall pass first. Let's end with the messy shit.
Okay. So my hall pass is to all of the black women on TikTok who have decided to make a TikTok university. It is wild because I was on my For You page and I was laying in the bed and I was getting ready to go to bed and I was scrolling. This girl was like, "Welcome to Intro 101 for African American Studies." I was like, "Wait a minute. When did I enroll in a class? What is going on?" And then we all found out later that this was actually for her real class, her real university class. So a bunch of other people came out the woodwork and was like, "Yeah, I'm willing to teach a class." So dead ass, there's now a whole entire university of black people teaching black people how to do things. So there's like a gardening class and there's a intro to lyrical hip hop. There's all types of stuff. And I was like, "Oh my goodness, we just all about to teach." Yes, everybody, professors, there's screenwriting, there's everybody and whoever just was like, okay, and which is very on brand for black women because anybody knows that we get bored and then we go get a degree. Like that's just literally how this works. So, but yeah, hall pass to them because that was funny. I was going down my page, I was like, man, I got 40 credits right now. This is crazy. Um.
Niggas will never
So
cease to amaze me, man.
yeah, I was like, what the fuck is this? Literally,
Uh,
my whole For You page was a new class. I was like, oh,
let
what
me
are we doing?
let me give you my hall pass. Um, Mine is a little bit on the somber side, unfortunately. My hall pass goes to the friends and family of Dale Wilson. Dale Wilson is an American voice actor who passed away recently at the age of 74. Um, he is most well known for is being the English voice actor for Cell in Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, yes.
Recently passed away, 74 years old. It's been a tough 6 months for Dragon Ball Z fans, man.
Oh man, we've just been getting hit left and right.
Yeah. So thoughts and prayers to the friends and family of Dale Wilson. Hall pass to you.
Yeah. All right. Well, on my detention here, as I said, I've been living the healthy life and going to the gym and doing the stuff. I went to go work out and I literally saw a dude because you're supposed to wipe off your machine after you use it, right?
Uh-oh. Here we go.
I literally saw a girl, pick up one of the little, because they got the sprays and the cloths, right? And they even have the disposable ones if you want to use those, whatever. It's just easier to bring the spray and stuff. But she literally just put like one squirt of the spray on it and just like barely wiped the shit down and walked off. And I was like, ma'am, you was on that machine for a solid 20 minutes, maybe. I know that them thin ass, she had them like little thin little biker shorts on. I know that that was not protecting any of that butt sweat from that seat. And you literally just went and barely wiped the shit and walked off. My attention goes to people who do not wipe down their fucking machine. Wipe the whole thing down. If you're touching stuff, if your body has touched it, you need to wipe it off. Do you hear me? Say yes. Thank you.
Fair warning. What I'm about to say is crazy, but hear me out.
Not the crazy.
Hear
They
me
coming for
out.
you, yay.
Hear me out. So this is a man thing. Let me just say this.
I'm scared. I'm even more scared now.
With my man brain, the individual that uses a public bathroom, uses a urinal, goes to wash your hands, turn on the water, put your hands under the water, turn it off, dry your hands, and walk out.
No.
I got way less respect for you than the people who just use the urinal and just walk out. I got way less respect for you.
I can't tell you how many times where I've been at work and like you would think like as women like we would have the hygiene standard. No.
Oh, y'all worse than us.
No. Literally, there was one time I'm in the stall. I'm going to the bathroom. There's only 2 stalls in this bathroom, right? 2 stalls. I'm going to the bathroom. I hear this lady had flushed right when I walk in, so I knew that she was coming out soon. So she comes out. Literally, I hear it's an automatic water thing. So I don't hear the soap go off because the soap is automatic too, and it's loud as shit. I don't hear the soap go off. I just hear the sink go, and that's it. And then she walked the fuck out the room. I was like, ma'am.
No, like, yeah. And look, and I used to work at Planet Fitness once upon a time, so you could imagine the shit that I've witnessed before.
I'm sure it's insane. And this is the crazy part because like I get it, it's hot in the gym. And I am all above people wearing whatever they feel comfortable in or whatever. But we have girls in our gym who are practically half naked. And I'm like, I know you're sweaty and you're just laying your body on this equipment and you're not even trying to clean it. I know you're sweaty. Stop it. Like, stop it. And half your body is out. Honestly, I feel less compelled with the people who are wearing like complete sweatsuits because at least then it's absorbing the sweat. You are half naked. So it's just flesh and seat. Come on, girl.
Do better.
Come on. Wipe your stuff off, guys.
Do
Hygiene is
better.
good. All 2025, please.
Okay, so my detention is gonna be a little unique this week again. This time I'm just gonna give you a situation and you choose out of the 2 people who get sent to detention.
Oh man, okay.
Before I get to that though, I really, really quick, because Drake almost got sent to detention this week for me. I just want to quickly touch bases on this because this was not mentioned when we talked about the lawsuit last week. So, upon reading more into the lawsuit, do you know with them insinuating that Drake is like not like us, quote unquote, and the whole like colonizer line. He claims that in this lawsuit that not like us is anti-Semitic. I am not making this up. It is in the lawsuit.
Can we just say he's never allowed to say nigga again? Can we take that from him? Say, sir, since this is anti-Semitic, you no longer have a black card. No nigga for you.
Like, nigga.
No nigga for you. No. You
But
gotta rap like Logic now. You
I
gotta give us
like it.
you you gotta give us the Machine Gun Kelly. Yeah. I'm sorry,
No,
baby.
man. Not your beard is weird.
Yeah, that's what you gotta get, babe. I'm so sorry.
But
We have revoked your black card that you ever had. I'm sorry.
let's okay. I want to talk about a situation from Coil Ray.
Mm-hmm.
So backtrack a little bit. Um, maybe this was years ago, probably 2016, 2017 ish. Coil Ray was dating Trippy Redd.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and let's keep in mind these kids are still kids. I think Trippy Redd's like
20,
24.
yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah, like they're
23.
still kids. They dated back in the day for some time. Rumors was that he cheated and that resolved into them breaking up.
Mm-hmm.
Ironically, them breaking up was the thing that gave us the last great Trippy Red album with a love letters for you four, but that's a conversation for another day.
I'm crying.
So fast forward years later, I think Trippie Redd gets into another relationship that did not last, and then I think after that, he ended up having his child, Saint Michael.
Mm-hmm.
We do not talk about that album, also.
Mm, right.
So let's fast forward into the beginning of this year. It was shown that Trippie Redd and Coil Ray got back together.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing that we did not talk about in 2024 was get your girl back season.
It really was. Everybody's like, listen, y'all missing out on
Red,
love.
Nelly, like get her back, King. So yeah, so they spun the block. And then a couple weeks later, it was announced that Coil Ray was pregnant with her first child with Trippie Redd.
Mm-hmm.
So this past week, Coil Ray made a Instagram post. I think it was on her stories, and it said, "Hold on, let me get the actual quote." It was on her stories. It says, "Nothing worse than being cheated on. Heartbreak emoji. I wouldn't wish this pain on my worst enemy. Crying face emoji. God bless." So, Ty, are are we sending Trippy Red to detention for being a pretty much a habitual cheater, or are we sending Coil Ray for detention for pretty much being plumb dumb?
So I think that two things can be true, and maybe they both need to go. But I'm gonna say that most likely she probably wasn't expecting it because they were in a situation where they felt comfortable having a baby together. So I would say just because nothing pisses me off more than a man cheating on his girl while she's pregnant. Just for that, Trippy, you gotta go.
I respect it. That's the hey. That that's the lay of the law. Trippy Red, like detention for you, man. Like you gotta uh making it hard for us, man. Making it fucking hard for us,
Making us look
man.
bad.
Making it look bad. Then I see such a dick. I seen Benzino post something on Instagram recently trying to get Trippy Red some cheating advice.
Benzino, stop it.
No one likes you, man.
Not a single soul.
No one likes you. Yeah, detention, the Trippy Red this week.
All right. Well, we're gonna wrap it up for music show and tell.
I'm
I
scared.
I already told you we're gonna like this, and actually, this is very on brand for what we've been talking about. But I love my Pilates class. I love it, but
Oh no.
but they keep playing like Billie Eilish on volume 2. Like it is the like I understand like we're supposed to be
So
breathing.
like you're so like is listening to Billie Eilish Billie Eilish in -5 is what you're
Yeah,
saying.
it's awful. Like, and it's 5 in the morning. My class starts at 5:10 in the morning, y'all. I need some upbeat music. I need something that's gonna get me through this hard ass workout because I don't know if you've ever watched I don't know who the fuck designed Pilates, but they should go to hell. That shit is hard. Anyway, I need I need a pick me up, you know? So, because I don't want to listen to anything that has like anything notable that I need to like listen to. Like, I mean, as far as like, I don't want to listen to anything where I want to sing the song. I don't want to like, I just want to, I want good beats and good beats only. I have been listening to Mansion Music by Trippy Red
Fucking
just,
knew it, man.
just because,
Why?
just because he's been getting me through my workouts. So I'm sorry.
it's an
You're so fucking mad. I'm sorry.
it's an okay album, man.
It is, yeah,
It's an okay album.
but he's got good gym playlist songs on there. I'm sorry.
Alright, I can live with that. I can live with that.
It's not like I'm gonna be like, this is my favorite song ever. It's probably not even gonna end up on my top tens. It's just, he made on that particular album. He has some really good gym playlist songs where you can just be mindless and just work out, you know?
Man, just go to SoundCloud, throw on some 2016 XXX Tentacion and get out of my face.
I'm crying.
Hi. Oh man. For show and tell this week, I have a few things. Before I get my show and tell, want to make you feel old.
I don't want it.
This week was the 10-year anniversary of 4 or 5 Seconds by Rihanna.
Sad.
10 years. Great song.
Great song.
But I'm still in my nostalgic bag, man. And this one goes to you, Ty, for this week. I've gone back to a couple songs that you introduced to me back in 2020. One of them is um, a little song called Love Affair by Umi. I
With the Umi.
You introduced me to this woman and I've been in love with her ever since.
I love Umi.
I that yeah. And then my other one, Ty, and then this one, you're gonna giggle at this too. The sun is actually out today. We've been talking about all this cold weather. The sun is shining right now out my window. The snow is melting. It is putting me in my summertime bag. And I'm going through my summertime playlist,
Hmm.
and it brought me back to a little song you introduced me in 2020 called "The Devil's in the Details" by Mac Ayres.
Yes. That's such
Oh
a good.
my god, man.
I was holding out on you because it was crazy because I literally we made a playlist and I just dropped a bunch of shit on you and you was like, what the
You dropped some heat that I was not prepared for,
I
man.
was really holding out on you. And it's crazy because I had known about those songs for like a good like for Mac Ayres, I had been sitting on that for like 2 years. And it was so funny because it's like it was just like one day we made a playlist and I just dumped a bunch of shit on it, and you were like, "What the fuck?" You were like, "Why?" I'm like, "I'm sorry. Well, you was just holding out." I was like, "Yeah,
It's
sorry."
it's such a great song though. I can't wait until we get more into the summertime. I think it's time we collaborate on a summertime playlist.
Oh, yeah.
But speaking of playlists, it is the end of the month.
Mhm.
We are going to try to get a Clev and Ty playlist for the month of January.
Mhm.
I got some shit for this one. I ain't gonna hold you.
Okay.
But if we are able to get that out at the time of this recording, the link for that playlist will be in the description. It will be a Spotify playlist. But other than that, do you had anything else you'd like to add?
Um, Nothing, just that we're now live on YouTube. It has
Yes.
taken us some time to get our little step together, but we have our first episode of 2024 and last week's episode up, and from here on out the rest of the episodes will be up on YouTube. So the whole, I'm going to call it first season, it's not really the first season, but every all those other ones will stay on Spotify, so they will just be a Spotify exclusive. And then everything from the very first episode of 2025 on um are going to be on YouTube. So just again about managing expectations, you will probably see the upload for Spotify first, and then the YouTube will be up maybe a few hours after that, just because uploading times. But um,
So
so just
yeah,
aware of
so moving forward, anybody that is on Spotify and or Apple Podcasts will get the new episodes first,
yeah,
followed by it, shortly followed by it being uploaded on YouTube.
yeah.
But no excuses, guys. No excuses. But we also, um, I want to celebrate us for a second. A small little victory for this podcast. We just eclipsed our 100th play on Spotify for the podcast. So
Whoop, whoop.
pretty cool little moment there. But we thank you. We thank y'all for the love, the support. Make sure share these channels, share an episode with a friend. Like, let's really get it out there. Man, we've been very consistent on this. We're like what 12 episodes in now already.
Mhm.
So we're really getting into it. But yeah, we thank y'all for the support, the love. Um, we still got some great things coming. So make sure y'all follow us on Facebook. Well, make sure y'all like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and subscribe to us on YouTube now. Ty, is anything else would you like to add?
Yes, and if you are listening to this on a platform like Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts, please rate our show. It really helps us get to other people. So if you rate our show and you give us a 5 star and you leave a comment about our show, it really pushes us to other people, and then we won't have to bug you as much. So so please, please, please rate our show if you're listening. Thank you.
And then let us know in the comments below, man, who y'all got. I mean, y'all one gotta go. Y'all had two R&B options this week.
Mhm.
We had the female artists, which was SZA, Summer Walker, LMA, and Janae Aiko, and then we had the male R&B groups with New Edition, Drew Hill, Jodeci, and Boys to Men. Let us know who got to go, and if you are, we're always taking suggestions for one's got to go as well.
Yes.
So if you had a dope idea for one's got to go, let us know in the comments as well. But
Mhm.
other than that, it is business as usual. Thank you all for your love and support. Like I said, like us on Facebook. Um, subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell they mama. And as always, once that bell rings, better not catch you out in the hall. I have been Clev.
I've been Ty.
And We will see you next week.
See you next week. Bye.
Bye bye.